Hello, my Star Atlas family. It's me again. I'm back to update you on what's happening in Star Atlas. And guys, let me just pause it and let you know there is a whole bunch of stuff we have to look at today. I am not joking. There's a whole bunch of big implication stuff for Star Atlas, okay? Not just the DAO, but actually gameplay in Sage. Some documents was released. It's pretty good. We've got to check it out. But first off, I want us to actually look at this video because it's the UE5 development showcase that they just released like nearly 20 hours ago. So let's have a look at it. Take you through some of the views in racing. I'm really not a big fan of that ragdoll of the head things. That's going to be changed hopefully later on. It just looks way too ragdolly of the little tails on their head. Look at it. It looks crazy. I do like this new characters that I see. Look at the different visors sometimes. They look pretty cool. The racing does look cool, you know, when we get to multiple people racing in a room or doing like tournament style or like even video showcases of them. That's pretty cool, right? Imagine we have a photography career now. We could have a videographer career. Make the best edited video of racing. That could happen, right? Now look at these different designs. I do like the different designs. Hopefully we get them to actually change it ourselves. UE5 should be allowing for that very easily. It's pretty cool. Color schemes are okay. Nothing special. For me, these designs don't really get me as much as, you know, the next person. For me, I'm like, it's a helmet. Just want to play, you know? This is the Opal Jetjet. Of course, the Opal Jetjet is a beautiful, beautiful ship. You guys can see here. Hopefully the music doesn't get copyrighted. Let me pause it just in case. Hopefully it doesn't get copyrighted. So we're 1 minute into this video. It does look gorgeous. Just look at it. Hopefully we get to actually sit inside this in VR because the team has been working with VR a while ago, remember? And we had to sit inside this and experience that beauty. Look at this. Reminds me of like Cyberpunk 2077. Oh man, gives me that good vibes. And just the accent change. Just look at the nice orange feel and glow to it. It's gorgeous. Opal Jetjet is a gorgeous, gorgeous little ship. It's like a little racer. And even look at the seams on the different theme and the seams of the sewing of the seats, which just looks incredible. Right, we've got a little bit left to go, and then we'll go to the bulk of this video, my friends. So stay with me for 30 more seconds as we look at the beautiful Jetjet, the Opal Jetjet. Now, these are the weapons, actually. So these will cycle through some energy weapons as well as some Thimble Bios, mechanical weapons, projectile weapons. That seems to be an energy weapon itself. Now, this is attached to what I think is the PSX4 or X6. That is a Thimble Bios weapon. This is a PS weapon, right? So this is an energy weapon. So I'm thinking that's a Bios weapon as well. So obviously they have different. That's an Ogrica weapon, right? So I'm categorizing them by the make of it, but also they probably fire differently. They probably fire projectile plus energy plus phase or whatever else. Now, this little section I want to brush by you because this is fairly new. We hadn't previously seen some of these platforms here where people can come and spectate the racing that it goes on. And you can see it's actually a lot more fleshed out now. It's a lot more built out. The ferns and all the other trees just need a bit of work, but the racetrack is making progress, guys. So that's that. I want to leave it there. That is a gorgeous video. Thank you very much to the Star Atlas team for sharing that. Now, what I actually wanted to cover this time, my friends, Chipto shared a Sage Labs ship statistic document. I think he was probably sharing this because he didn't want leaks to take full credit for all of the leaks that has been going on. So for context, Leaks already, who is a community member, he had already released a document that he's able to siphon from somewhere. And probably just to dispel that, Chipto released this document for everyone else to have a look at, to actually get official stuff out there, because he doesn't want people to play around with non-official stuff. Not to say Leaks' stuff was like not good, not trustworthy. I fully trusted it, but I wanted to wait until something concrete has come, and now it has actually come. So now I'm really happy to start actually playing with this, right? Remember, all of the stuff we're going to see is actually just all in iteration, okay? Things will change. And at the end of the video, I've got some drama that's happening now of how things are changing, okay? So don't just make all of your plans based on this one document. So let's have a look. Chipto, happy Tuesday, everyone. Getting closer to Sage Labs launch. Enjoy your sneak peek and theorycraft to your maiden heart's content. Ooh, funny punny. Okay, now, this is the document, guys. There are a few people on it sometimes. I'm going to zoom in and out. I'm going to zoom to 50% so you can see just how robust it is. So that is the document, right? So let's go ahead and read the fine prints. Let's go here so you can read. All right. Ship stats currently of 29th August. By the way, it was my birthday yesterday, 28th August. Mining rate assumes asteroid richness and resource hardness of 1. Food consumption rates only use normal crew count. Active crew accounts for additional passengers for passenger modules. So you'll make with that what you will. So basically we have all the ships that are currently in circulation now. Okay, these are all the ships in column A. You get what type they are, what class or what make they are, what class they are, and let's go for each individual column. Sorry, what class? Class 1 is of course the extra small. Class 2 is the extra small. These weren't really needed because everyone kind of is aware of that already, but it's interesting to see that we go from a 7 to a 9, so we are missing the class 8 size, right? Now let's go on. Fuel capacity, you get each individual ship. Ammo capacity, each individual ship. Mining, this is the food when they're mining, right? Ammo, mining rate of the resources based on a hardness of 1, remember, right? So if, let's say, all of these ships go and mine the same resource and it's a hardness of 1, okay, and a richness of 1, then this will be your mining rate, 0.374 for the lowest ship, which is a Thimble Airbike, and then you go all the way to 1, 4, 13, 27. Oh, I saw something. Oh, that's fine. 10, 13, and you go to 129, 129, 100, 96, 261, then you go to 3000. Of course, these are the Titan class ships. So you can see that right there. So that's incredible, right? That's the mining rate for resources, okay? Then you have the sub-warp speed, you have the warp speed, the max warp distance, the distance, the base warp cooldown time, okay? So this is the time between your different warps. So 1 minute, 1 minute and a half, nearly, why is it 180? It should be 2 minutes. 180, 240. These are in seconds, hopefully. I think it's in seconds, yeah. The base fuel when you warp itself, the base fuel when you use sub-warping, fuel for the asteroid when you exit an asteroid field, okay? So when you have to leave your atmosphere first, and that costs fuel. You go to your asteroid, you mine it, but actually leaving that asteroid also subtracts fuel from you. So this is a very small amount. It's not that much. Scan cooldown in seconds is 60 seconds. Crew for food for consumption when you're doing all of this stuff. This is per second probably. And then you have active crew for crafting as well as the respawn time. And there's of course no food cost to scan. So there's a whole bunch of stuff here, right? So there's great material here. I'm not an Excel spreadsheet warrior or an ROI hatter, whatever they want to call it. But there are people that are out there that are already looking at this. So what I really like to see is Chipto put this out there, and let's go through it very quickly, right? For those of you building your own fleets out there, here's the rules. Hoping to see a community built tool soon. And there is probably going to be one very soon if it's not already out there. So for fleet statistics, right? Cargo capacity, when you have all of your fleets together, so you may have one Thimble Airbike plus one Calico Max Hog, whatever all your ships are, if you put them in one fleet, this is how they're going to operate, okay? This is how they'll operate. So your cargo capacity is a sum, all of those values combined. If you have a fleet capacity of 1 for a Thimble Airbike and 10 for another ship, then you have 11. All right, that's your cargo capacity. The fuel capacity is a sum as well. Ammo capacity is a sum. Food, sum. Ammo, sum. Mining, sum. Sub-warp speed. Now, this is where it starts getting changed, okay? Your sub-warp speed. It's not the actual warp speed, but it's the just traveling by itself. You actually pay the lowest, okay? You actually go by the lowest, not pay, sorry. You go by the lowest sub-warp speed ship in your fleet, okay? For warp speed, it's just 0.1 Atlas units per sector. I think that's what it is. I don't know how to translate that into your fleet itself. The max warp distance is the farthest. So if you want to travel the farthest you can in your fleet, you need to have the one fleet with the furthest travel distance of a ship. I hope that makes sense. Maybe that doesn't make sense. So if you have 3 ships, right, you have a max warp speed of 1, 5, and then 7. You're going to be able to travel your entire fleet 7 because that is the furthest maximum ship you have, okay? Warp cooldown is also the longest. Whatever ship you have that has the longest cooldown will be that cooldown for your entire fleet. The fuel warp is the sum for asteroid exit is the sum, scan cooldown is the max. Active crew, this is the crew count available for crafting when the ship is in the starbase infantry. Taking into account passenger undocked does not count passengers. Only official slotted crew, and the respawn time is max. So this is where people will be able to put stuff together. And I don't want to bite my lip, but AFIA has kind of done half of this already, right? So this is the Nancy tool by AFIA. I don't think many people are actually aware of this. This is not the Flipside crypto chart, okay? That's by Victor and Stratugo. This is actually by Kenny Dover-Keen over at, I was going to say another company, but this is over at AFIA. So I have a little small experimental fleet that I have put in myself, but you can actually go and see other fleets that people have put in themselves, right? So let's go ahead and see. So over here, you see you can pick a fleet or assemble a new one. Other people in AFIA have already started picking their own fleets. Let me put myself away here. So let's say Kenny's test fleet. Fleet number 1 is a short distance freight. Fleet number 2 is a support freight, fleet. My fleet over here. Let's have a look at a really high medium amount. So let's go Zelax. Let's look at AEP Zelax and his short distance fleet. What's in there? He's got a PSX5 and a Thimble BIOS Packlight. Nice. He's got, I think, one of each. Now let's have a look at some of the other people's fleets as well. Let's say just a little guy, steak dinner, Rook starter fleet. Let's see what a starter fleet looks like. A Thimble Airbike, PSX4, Opal Jet, and a Calico Evac. Now, I wouldn't actually say the Calico Evac is in a starter fleet. It is a medium class, right? It's not a small. It is a medium class, so I don't think that's a starter. I think people will only be going to extra, extra small, small, and maybe extra small as a starter fleet. There's a few other ones in here. Now, what I actually want to see... Oh, Chaotic Explorers. Just the Tip by Club Grist. I love that. Grist, let's have a look. Armstrong Industries, this is the Tip. So he's looking at some getting some resources. The Mamba, which is going to be has a whole bunch of fuel. Your PSX6 for defense and your PSX5 for like as a fighter as well. So very interesting. So he's going to be defending his position as well as transporting his position a little bit while mining for resources. That's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and keep looking at some other ones. Let's see. Small Guy, Trial, Zeiss, Victor Mores, NFT. Cool. Now, what I actually want to see very soon, that will probably be done, is the implementation of these cargo capacities and all of these statistics into your fleet composition. Okay, and then you'll be able to see what your ammo capacity is, what your mining rate is, your burn rate on exit of asteroid, or what your cooldowns are, or how far you can travel, how many sectors can you travel at a time. This is all really good stuff that is going to be on here. You can see this is really robust, right? This is already robust. Okay, some mining rate is 42. Okay, for this specific fleet, you can see they've already put some of this stuff in here. So I hope it's actually updated. I really hope so, because I'm not an expert here. I haven't been keeping up to date. But you can see this is bloody awesome. This is so good. So you guys, get on this. If you don't have access, you need to ask Kenny Dover-Keen at AFIA for this information. Now, let's move on, my friends. Let's talk about something else for a second. There has been some updates to the DAO. One of the major person who was actually leading the DAO, called Dan Park, he was chief legal counsel for Star Atlas. He's had to step down. He's going to another job, okay? This was broke by the Hologram News Network, so let's read it for a little bit, and then we've got his response as well to it. After 2 amazing years at Automata Inc. Developing Star Atlas, I'm excited to share that I'm joining Paxful as a general counsel. Now, I think if I remember correctly, Paxful is stablecoin. They're doing the Paxos USD, Pax USD, PUSD. I forget what they are. I'm deeply regretful for my talented colleagues at... I'm deeply grateful, not ungrateful, at Automata and the memories we created together. And I cannot wait to see the Star Atlas game and community continue to grow. As I step into this new role, I'm eager to join the team at Paxful in their mission of increasing global financial inclusion. I'm looking forward to contributing to the shared goal, embracing new challenges, and continuing my Web3 journey. Wishing everyone a great weekend. Now let's read his actual comeback to this. Hey there, appreciate the kind words, guys. This is after Club Grist said congrats on the new role. I had an absolute blast and have loved every moment working behind the scenes and also interfacing directly with so many of you. Sorry I didn't say much before I left. I didn't think my leaving would merit much attention anyway. Everything is in good hands. Michael and team are able to track what I was working on, and they have access to plenty of internal and external resources, including best-in-class outside counsel who are ready to jump in on something when something complex arises. As for the foundation, who's talking about the DAO itself, it's also in good hands with an excellent independent director who staying on to carry out missions. He's also a lawyer. And frankly, it's been and will be fairly quiet there anyway, until the DAO starts to pick up steam soon, trademark. As for myself, I'm only leaving because something came up that lined up very closely with my skill set, including my specialization before I came to Star Atlas. Unfortunately, it wasn't flexible in terms of timing, so I felt it just had to take the leap. It all happened quite abruptly, although I was and am confident about leaving. Michael knows it was a tough decision for me. Automata is an amazing place to work. This community is the best in Web3 gaming. I love true on-chain development, and I just can't wait to see how things actually pick up as the in-game economy really starts to take off with the launch of Labs. So anyway, I'm still here and plan on sticking around only as a fan instead of a contributor. Ignore that I still have blue text on my name. I'll just be plain text soon enough. So Dan, it is unfortunate to see you go. Thank you very much for all the work you did on the Star Atlas DAO and the legal structures behind it. We really appreciate it, man. We will continue on the torch and keep carrying it until Star Atlas has become the mainstream game of the next generation. Next up, I want to touch on the Sage Labs interface. Now, we wanted to, Michael provided these in the showroom. He said, don't tell anyone. Haha, very funny. We all know everything gets out anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And we have permission, so we can go out. I'm just trying to justify my position here. So this is the fleet management and command. The UI has had a little bit of an improvement. So this is about just that little 1% change, which makes things feel a lot easier and a lot better, right? Look at the detail on this UI. It's getting slowly better. The fuel status is a percentage and like a rating. A cargo hold status. How much capacity do you have in your cargo? The ammo. How much remaining do you have in ammo? And if you are stuck adrift, you don't have enough ammo to go back. Remember, no one can come and rescue you yet. You have to spend Atlas to respawn your fleet. You're going to lose everything you have on your cargo. You will have to self-destruct your fleet, okay? This is so that you can go back to the space station and respawn, okay? This is how it's going to be so far until someone can come and rescue you, where I will be coming to rescue you. Now, they're trying to say this is what the actual mud starting zone looked like, okay? The UI is, I think it's okay. Like, it's Excel people don't mind it at all. Plus, they'll be able to actually do this on the blockchain behind the scenes anyway. That's what it used to look like. This is what it looks like now, okay? It looks much better, okay? Reminds me of that Wax game that people used to play a lot, like the asteroid mining game. I remember what it, I don't remember what it was. But this looks a lot easier to actually, it's a lot softer, right? A resource type, what the resource name, the type of it is, how much the hardness is, what's the total HP it has, how much has actually been mined, where the coordinates are, and as well as your own fleet name and the fuel you have remaining. So that's very important, of course, right? Another look at it. Oh, no, that's it. So that's pretty good. I'm very happy with the way that this has turned out. You can see it here. It's a lot easier, softer on your eyes. Let's look at some pictures lastly before we end it, before we get to the 20-minute mark. This is the Ogrica Nirich that has recently had a little look at it and little look-see. Inside looks gorgeous, by the way. People have noticed this little punab at the top here, and I think someone from I watched the MetaVerse Nomads, and they say you just need a little skirt on there, like a little hula skirt on there. But that looks pretty cool, you must admit yourself. Let's look at the next picture here. This is a whole bunch of the different Niriches in a row with the different color accents, very similar to the Opal Jetjet. I'm sure we'll have another showcase video on that. Same picture from another angle. They all look pretty damn good. You got to admit, right? They look clean as hell. I really want one. The picture of the golden ticket, which we will all be crafting for, which is the reason why we're going into the Sage Labs as well. And lastly, here is a picture. Oh, here is a video of the Ogrica Nirich before we get to the drama that's happening a little bit in the Foundation room. All right, let's watch this. It looks pretty good, gorgeous. I mean, it doesn't have the color accents that we saw in the previous videos, but it looks really streamlined. We've already seen the clay model of this in the showroom. We haven't seen the colored model of this, and it takes time for this stuff to get done, you know. And I'm sure this isn't what it's actually up to now. It's probably up to a later stage. It's also interesting. You can see the Ogrica weapon right at the bottom there. It just looks like a little tip of the thingy, if you know what I mean. Grow up, guys, come on. Yeah, so this is it, you going inside. No sound so far, but it looks gorgeous. It looks gorgeous, right? Nice, nice. I'm very happy with that. So thank you for the team for sharing that to us. Now, lastly, before we finish, I want to get to some drama that's happening in the Foundation room. So as we discuss all of these ships, all the actual ship data is out now. Please, guys, please, let's all just chill. We know these are all in a constant iteration. They will be changing, okay? They've changed like 5 times before, since we first saw them. And yes, when we first bought them, they were concept art, okay? But now they're getting more tangible. They have to get changed, so that's just part of the process, okay? Some people weren't happy with some of the changes that they saw in some of the ships, right? Because they bought them based on concept art and what it looks like then, and then it made assumptions. Whereas now the stats and data is actually out there. So people, this specific Yawn from Bork, I like Yawn. Like no hassle here, right? No beef. I'm just kind of commenting on what's happening in the Foundation showroom. So people were he was unhappy with the pack light versus the ohm, okay? And he just said, oh, you got to really look at this. I don't think it's fair. So Chipto came back. He got some support from the community. I put together the formulas so that stats are automatically calculated based on the loadout. It's too subjective to go off photos and for a designer to just add an extra 20% here and there, okay? So this is specifically the pack light versus the ohm. It's about cargo capacity, I think it was. And 50% there is specific ships by looking at early concept art. And I hear your feedback on the pack light. I could easily grant it more modules to account for the shipping containers. That being said, you need to cool it on the accusation. Yes, I own ohms. I'm very happy that he actually owned ohms. I've owned them for a while because they are my favorite ship. Let me put away my face so you can see. I love the rainbow lore / aesthetics. You are questioning my integrity as a person by accusing me of granting rainbow ships an unfair advantage because I own a few by cherry picking one ship out of 51. Whose stats you are unhappy with. Also calling the stats egregiously imbalanced when the differences between the pack light and the ohm aren't large at all is hyperbolic. When you are really getting, what you're really getting at is that there is a VWAP disparity between the ohm and the pack light. VWAP pricing disparities and stats exist on a lot of other ships as well. We're tracking this. I have confirmed multiple times we're working on addressing this via the ship config v2 rework and using component tiers. So guys, let me bring myself back here. Chipto, don't even worry, man. We know you're working on this. We know, yes, people aren't going to be happy with their ships. Don't worry. People have just bought a lot of ships based on pictures of things, and it doesn't quite match up with the stats. Man, it's okay. It's a game. I know they probably bought way more than they should have, let's be honest, but I understand that the ship stats will be changing. You got to deal with this, right? You got to deal with it. And I don't want to be that person to say you just got to deal with it, but hey, it's a game, okay? Maybe you bought too much in the first place. Yeah, Chipto, don't worry, man. Just do your thing. I know you're going to look after us in the first place. I know that it's difficult to be in this position where people are unhappy with the stats for their ships, but please, just do what's best for the whole entire Star Atlas community, and not specifically for one ship. I'm glad that you do own some owns. I own one as well. I like the Rainbow series myself. But for me, it's more of an aesthetic choice rather than a stats choice. Yes, they are probably better in warp speed and probably better in cargo. Actually, they're not as good in cargo. I don't know. See, that's the thing. I don't care. It's about the aesthetics. It's a block of cheese. I want to own that block of cheese, okay? And that's it, guys. It's subjective like that, okay? This is unfortunately when it gets a bit hairy when you are an Excel spreadsheet ROI person, okay? You want the best bang for your buck. But for me, I want to be able to take all of you guys in my Rainbow Ohm as well as my Arc now, and we're going to have an Arc party. That is what I want, okay? So with that said, everyone, just chill. Just be cool. It's okay. I'm going to leave you now. Thank you very much for listening to me rant for 20 minutes about Star Atlas. As always, I appreciate you guys. Leave a like and subscribe if you need to. I keep losing subscribers now on every video I make, which is quite unfortunate, but you guys are still here and you like me very much. So, without further ado, let's end it there, and I will leave you and love you. Ciao for now. Bye, guys.